Hello and welcome to another Betfred sports video right here in the Quest Media Network studio. Now, unfortunately, England are out of the World Cup. Peter, a 2-1 defeat to France, but looking at that game, there's a lot of controversial talking points. Number one, in my opinion, being the referee. What did you make of it?
Well, I reckon that the referee from Brazil is used to playing kind of giving every foul, every little bit of a touch becomes a foul in Brazil. That's the way his style of refereeing. When he came over to Qatar, he would have been briefed by the refereeing officials, people in charge of the referees, and also his colleagues from all over Europe and the world. And they would have explained to him, look, we want a bit of European style, a bit of contact, so he's okay. And I think he overdid that. He didn't give anything at all virtually in the whole game. And France were up for that. They'd kind of worked out the style of the referee far better than we did. And so they were pushing it to the nth degree. Particularly how they kept fouling Saka and Foden and our Quicksilver forward players. And their game management was far superior than ours. That's the top and bottom of it. And they were more clinical in front of goal, big time. That was Giroud's second goal. He did nothing in the whole match. Got ahead of Harry Maguire, headed it against Harry Maguire's shoulder, and they winning 2-1. And then we're scrambling around trying to get the penalty, which of course was a penalty, and then Harry Kane misses it. So those are errors for me. But also the biggest one of all was Gareth Southgate not making changes quick enough. He's always been criticised for this. And he normally picks up on any sort of constructive criticism as that has been. And he should have made those changes halfway through the second half. He should have brought Maddison on. All the fuss about getting James Maddison there. He didn't get a touch of the ball. So he must have thought something of him. And if you're not going to bring him on in that game, when things are going against you, you saw how Griezmann was picking it up in midfield. What a superb player. He's reinvented himself into a brilliant, probably the best in the world, number 10. Every time he got it, he never lost it, and he was prodding it forward over and over and over again. Now that is what Maddison could have done for us, but oh no, he doesn't make the change, does he? Sticks with it, same format, and then when he does make the change, it's like for like. And that why he took Saka off is beyond me, because he was clearly our best player on the night. And then Pickford could have done a lot better for that first goal. People say that he's a small keeper. Well, it was illustrated there because he didn't get across quick enough. All right, it was deflected and he went through Bellingham's legs and all the rest of it. But you don't expect a keeper in the World Cup, Britain's best or England's best keeper, to be beaten from that kind of distance.
You'd expect Ramsdale to save that, wouldn't you?
You would. Oppo. You would expect either of them to have got over there. But Pickford must bring other things to the England team, like shouting at his defenders whenever they make the slightest mistake. I see they didn't shout at him when he made that mistake. And another point I want to make is that how Bellingham indicated beyond all doubt he is a captain of the future, because he was first over to console Harry Kane when he missed that penalty. And I thought, good on you. He's only 19, he could see the picture, and he went straight over to him. Now, if that isn't captain material, I don't know what is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jude Bellingham, even though he's only a youngster, leading by example. But as Peter just said then, Gareth Southgate making some questionable decisions, but under his tenure, England are still trophyless. Does this mark the end of his reign in charge of the Three Lions, Peter? What do you think? Is it time for a change, or do you persevere with Southgate?
Well, I think he's earned the right to make his own decision. So you can take it, he won't be sacked. But it's whether he wants to continue. He has proved himself tactically inept at that sort of elite level. It's only like a percentage difference, but there was 5-10 minutes in the second half. He could have got Jack Grealish on earlier, for instance. He would have terrified the French at that stage because they were looking leggy and they haven't got the substitutes to come on like England have. They should have piled on all those subs and just gone for it. Because we weren't going to win that game unless we got the break, and we did get a break when there's that crazy challenge in the box that took the referee what seemed like about 5 minutes to make the obvious decision that it was a foul.
Yeah.
And then got us the second penalty. And Harry Kane shouldn't have taken it for the second time.
Yeah.
Because there was only pressure on him playing against his own teammate in goals. And then he's made his decision to go one way. And he must be going through his head, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Do it again? Is he thinking I'm doing it again? Do I do the other side? And it's an additional pressure taking a second penalty. Now, if he hadn't have taken it, we'd be sat here saying he didn't take responsibility. You can't really win. But for me, it should have been decided beforehand that was going to be a penalty by Rashford or somebody else.
Yeah.
To get the equaliser and take it to extra time. Because if it had gone to extra time, I think we'd have won because of our extra strength on the bench. We've got players who can come in, can either keep the level the same or improve the performance. So it's a win-win situation. You're not going to lose anything by bringing on Rashford, Grealish and the rest of them. Henderson, I was screaming that he should be replaced at half-time, but then he had an half-decent first period of the second half.
You can never question his work ethic, can you?
No, you can't. But he does get himself involved in things like he's hanging around waiting for the free kicks, and you're thinking, what are you doing there? You're never going to take it. You just stood there with your hand over your mouth, trying to like be like the big boy.
Yeah.
You're not going to do anything. What are you doing there? Just get out of the way.
Yeah.
Leave it to those who are going to take the free kick.
Yeah.
Which he's never in.
Yeah.
So he sort of like plays at being the leader on the pitch. So, but anyway, we've got France are now the 11-10 favourites with Betfred to go and win the competition outright. Argentina, they've slipped to second favourites now, 6-4. Croatia 7-1, and the team that everyone's loving, Morocco, well, they're 10-1.
A complete breath of fresh air are Morocco in this tournament. Of course, they'll have headed into this competition as the underdogs. However, as it stands, they are now in the semi-final, potentially 90 minutes away from the final. They will be taking on France on Wednesday. However, on Tuesday, we've got a big one. It's Argentina taking on Croatia, of course. France are defending champions, and Croatia 4 years ago took on France in the final. So, Peter, this one's got all the ingredients to be a cracker.
Well, it has. We haven't got that many bets on France, except from the early days, and Brazil were the favourites then. We did have somebody who had France winning 2-1, and I'll have to check here the spelling of the opening goal scorer for France. And so we had 2-1 France win, and also Takimino to score the first goal for France, which he did, of course. That was the one from about 50 yards. The big Pickford. That was 125-1, and he's from the West Midlands, and he had £2 on 125-1. So he's picked up a nice little earner there for a £2 shell out. And then, as you say, we've got Croatia playing against Argentina. So Betfred have Argentina and Croatia. Well, Argentina are the favourites, 5-6. And we've got that man Messi 3-1 to score first, and then we've got France and Morocco.
Excellent stuff. Well, who's in contention for the Golden Boot Award? Currently, Kylian Mbappe is the favourite. However, we've also got Lionel Messi and Olivier Giroud, of course, two Frenchmen in there. Peter, it looks good for the French.
Yeah, well, we've got France, as you say, playing against Morocco. France, well, the huge odds-on favourites there, 8-15. Morocco 13-2. But she's never been ruled out because there have been some half-decent teams, such as Spain and Portugal. Yep. So they're 13-2 to go on and get to the final. Mbappe is 11-4 to score first for France. Giroud 4-1. And Griezmann, who is rapidly emerging as my player of the tournament potential, is 11-2. He's in that position where he's not going to be particularly prolific up front, but he is creating. He had a part in both of France's goals against England. Anyway, he's 11-2 to be the first goal scorer for France against Morocco. Then if all goes to plan, and we do have a final between France and Argentina on Sunday, and that'll be quite a spectacle. And it just shows that cream does eventually rise to the top, and it could actually happen. That clearly the odds are indicating that. We've got Mbappe 1-2 favourite to pick up the Golden Boot. He's on 5 goals already. with one semi-final and potentially a final to go. Messi, who it would be a real fairy tale if he goes on and wins it. He's 3-1. He's got 4 goals so far, and then we've got Giroud, who scored the winner against England. He's also on 4 goals, and he's a 6-1 shot to get the Golden Boot. As I say, with 1 game definitely to go, and potentially 2.
Excellent stuff. So just to recap, on Saturday night, it was heartache for England, an absolute ecstasy for France, and of course France are now the favourites with Betfred to win the competition and retain their world title status. Well, England's exit from the competition has affected the BBC Sports Personality of the Year odds. Currently, as it stands, England's best mead is the favourite at 1-50. Peter, give us the latest rundown on this.
Well, these odds changed quite dramatically on Saturday night following England's demise, because Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Saka, they were all well in there to challenge Beth Mead for the Sports Personality of the Year. And of course, this award was put back until after the World Cup to take in the footballers. But they've tumbled right down the betting now. Harry Kane, he's gone 100-1. Marcus Rashford, he's also 100-1. They're way down the list now. And as you say, Beth Mead, she's now 1-50. So that's almost a done deal now to win the Sports Personality of the Year this year. And that's been held in Salford on December the 21st. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7 times Betfred World Snooker Champion, he's 25-1. Ben Stokes, now he's 25-1 as we speak, but I'm expecting those odds to change quite dramatically. He'd probably go second favourite because of his the success of England in Pakistan. Only a few hours ago they've beaten Pakistan to win the series there, and he's proven himself really courageous captain. Tyson Fury is 33-1. So those are the main ones really, but Beth Mead, huge favourite.
Well, of course, even though the action's only just wrapped up, we are now looking ahead to the Euros in 2024, and Peter's got the latest odds ahead of that competition. Peter, give us a rundown on that.
Well, Germany, quite surprisingly, have come out as favourites. They're 5-1, so they'll be really harmed by their early exit from the World Cup and be looking to re-establish themselves on the world stage. They're 5-1 with Betfred to come out and win the Euros in 2024. France and England are both 6-1 shots, and then we've got Spain 7-1. Italy didn't even make the World Cup, they're 9-1. Portugal 10-1, and Netherlands 12-1. Belgium, they'll be refocusing now after their early exit as well. They're 14-1.
Excellent stuff. Well, that just about wraps us up here. However, we've got 2 huge games coming up. So on Tuesday night, in the first semi-final, it's Argentina taking on Croatia, and then 24 hours later, we've got France taking on Morocco. And of course, depending on the results, we could have a repeat of the World Cup final 4 years ago between France and Croatia. And if you do fancy a punt on any of these 2 fixtures or any other sport, Betfred stores are now open, but you can also bet online via their app.